And good morning. We're live and direct. Yeah. Still a little bit of a sinkhole here, but I think we can continue to fix this. It is a Saturday. Since I'm not constrained much. I gotta do some stuff. I gotta go upstairs, see my daughter off to dance, but that's not for a few hours. So I'm pretty happy right now. Eyeball scratching. There we go. Guten Morgen. Good morning, Chris. How are you? Nick? Morning. Morning. Wham wham. Morning, morning. Wham wham. Bonjour. Comment ça va? Bien et tout? All right. I'll leave that be. Let's get some stuff here. All my sponges. Pulled an all-nighter just to catch the live stream. What? Good morning. There you go. There you go. Being all polite now, Nick. Pulled an all-nighter just to catch the live stream. Meaning what? Did you adjust the volume? No. Is it still problematic? Shit. Let me know. I'm going to do it right now, I think. Yeah, I can do it. No, it doesn't seem to be. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit anyway, Nick. It's about the midpoint. Yeah, it's a little lower than it. All right. How's that? I just dropped it. Good morning, beautiful space noids. Apollo has lifted his skirt. The day has started. Nice. Hey, Joe. All right, let me know if this sounds good, bad, or otherwise. It's a bad habit. I took a combat nap and then stayed up the rest. Oh, yeah. Combat nap. Turn up my end after the adjustment. Okay, is that good or bad? Here's the thing. This might be an experiment. The most important thing is I don't want to have distortion. So at this point, I'm going to leave it like this. And if that means you guys turn up volume, I think that's better. If you're turning it up so high that it is causing distortion, that's a problem. It's good. Great. Laundry machine sounds good. Hey, excellent. Can you pick up the fidelity of the machines, Joe? And is it coming in perfect stereo? Still have to find a way of getting the laptop moved over. Gotta wait for the chime. Yeah, that's true. That'll be coming shortly. 17 minutes? Something like that. Shit, I was going to say something. Yesterday I was playing with a little computer. I've got an older computer I was using primarily for music playback as a music playback device. I was hoping to repurpose it, put it here. It's like I said, it's a small brick computer. And the unfortunate thing was that it's not modern enough. It's Windows 10, which means it's already can't get any kind of updating to it. It was acting really slowly. Many of the drivers were outdated. I mean, some of them you could update. But it was just clunking along. And it's like, I don't want to introduce a device that is going to create that kind of problem. So I'm going to start saving up, I guess, for a little computer. I have a monitor I can use. Just got to pick up a small, cheap keyboard. You don't really need a keyboard for this. But anyway, not for the live streaming. You know, there used to be a time where I can go to AliExpress and get myself like a wicked cheap, like a little PC. Like that shirt. Yeah, me too. You can actually read it. This is actually one of the ones I've really enjoyed. You know, their first mission, final mission. It's funny that they were there for a very short amount of time. I didn't realize that. They were there for, God, just a year and change. Still one of and that, do I want to say that? Yeah, I would say that. In terms of a concept store for what a hobby shop should look like, absolutely. I think having been to Gundam Planet, I think that they're probably they've got more going on, but their space is a lot more, there's a lot more stuff jammed in on the floors. I like the way Gundam Pros used to do things where you had so much space to walk around. It was great. Hey, you're not backwards. Nah, Peter, I guess you weren't on yesterday, right? I'm also wider. Literally, I've expanded about 4 feet wide. Nah, I had a problem with my phone. I haven't even tested it again since Thursday. But this is basically me using my laptop to do live streaming. And except that the laptop is taking up a lot of space here, which is cutting into some of my workspace. I'll fix that, but outside of that, this is fine. Takes a little, there's a lot more front end effort to get the live stream set up, but a lot less back end. Camera looks a hell of a lot better. Really. So this camera looks better than the phone camera? That's wild. Huh. So I picked that up about, I don't know, 6-7 years ago. It's a cheap Logitech webcam. It's wild. I picked it up primarily to do Zoom calls and Teams meetings. Also, your phone travels. Yeah, there's that. I like doing it on the phone. I mean, don't get me wrong. I much prefer it because it was just simpler. You just kind of plop the device down and you're off and running. You know. I also like not having to clutter my my bench. Given how I spread out here. But in the end, it's about how we're going to get this done, and this is working, so I'm fine with it. Trying to smoke a brisket on the pellet smoker today, but it has a blown fuse. Now I have to make a 6 a.m. run to the store. Late to start smoking. Yeah, dude, I'm sorry about that. Actually, it uses a fuse. Interesting. Oh, I guess that would. Electronics, yeah. Ouch. You gonna take me on the road, Nick? There we go. Can we get you to powder your head before the live, cut down on the glare? Can you? You will be with me for the ride. Oh, that's so sweet. Can I? No. No, not going to do that. No, we're not going to do that. I think you, like everybody in my life, needs to experience that extreme shine. In fact, I may have to decide buffing it a little bit in the morning. Anyway, happy Saturday, guys. How's things with you guys? Today is prom day. And it's going to be airbrush day, actually. Today I'm going to be doing some airbrushing. Airbrushing for me in the early part of the day, and then getting ready to help my daughter get to prom. I'm going to meet my wife. It's shitty weather outside, which is going to be kind of weird. Shine it for a nickel. Yeah, exactly. You could probably cut back on how many lights you have. That's probably if you buff it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, I could. Yeah, I could actually put almost like a reflection plate up top, so the light hitting here reflects off my head, reflects off of a bounce up top, and then brings it back down, and this creates this bouncing effect of light. It's like perpetual light. John's congratulated 8th grade. Yay! She excited about starting high school? That came out pretty good. That seam is gone, Daddy, gone. Yeah, the rent. Yeah, get rid of some of the. I hope so. Peter, has it been killing you? Pollen hasn't been bothering me this year, and at least not yet. And the reason has been because primarily it's this last week I've had this fucking whatever this. I don't know if it was the flu, respiratory thing that Ken was talking about, but whatever the hell it is, that thing's kicked my ass. I'm still recovering from it, and just the nasal shit. So she got strep. Oh, what? Strep throat really bad. So her mom took her to urgent care. She is okay, just out, but she is excited. Yeah, that's great. Was she able to make it to festivities first show? Hey, chime. No distortion. Love it. Clear as a bell, literally. I think I got more of this shit showing. Just looking at some of the stuff that I have here. Maybe I can kind of line it up here. Let's see. A little. It's Frog Mom. Frog Mom fit through? Oh, that'll freak people out. I'm pretty congested with no sinus headaches, thankfully. I've been gobbling Claritin. Yeah. It's the one thing I space out on doing on a regular basis is just getting like that Claritin in. So. Yeah, she made those parties. Nice. That's good. Well, I'm very happy for her, Joe, and I think that's great. She's and it's the fascinating part of you blink, right? And the next thing you know, they're in their next stage of life. You know, Nick's gonna blink, and the next thing you know, his daughter's gonna be, getting ready for junior high, and his son's gonna be, playing what they call it, Pee Wee League or Major League or whatever they call it in the baseball leagues. Okay, what did I miss? Had to get my granddaughter's brekkie. Not much. Just this is a low key kind of day. I'm just sanding away and we're just talking. I got the Imperial Shuttle this week and it's missing a piece. I'm going to have to scratch build it. The kit should be fun though. It's going to build up pretty big. Yeah, that's the Tidarium shuttle, right? Yeah, that is not a small kit. No, stop. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Nick. Little League down here. Yeah, Little League. We used to have Little League, and then you had the minors and the majors. I'm not sure. And this is going back 50 years, so I'm sure things have changed. T-ball. Yep. Exactly. So it's missing a piece. I'm hoping it's not like some major piece. It's probably why it was available at a discount, right? My daughter is 41 and my son is 40. Yeah, there you go. In another few years, my older daughter will be a quarter century. That's kind of crazy. All right, guys, I think I've done good. Not gonna lie, I've done good. It's the only one I still have left to do. All old people in here. Yeah. Fired off an email to you, George. Thank you. I'll take a look for that later on. Was it just today? It's one of the wing hinges. The auction claim the kit was. Oh, that's notification. It's complete, except for a couple of parts. So what part of complete do we not understand? Old equals wisdom. One would hope. One would hope. That is the way it should work, Chris, without a doubt. All right. So, sorry. Ooh, look at all that reflection. Yeah. I may do something about the lighting. Again, this is all going to be a work in progress, guys. All that gapping has now been filled. In fact, what's interesting, it's so little of it is there it goes. You can actually see a lot of that right now. It's all good. All wise people here. I think you meant to finish that off by saying all wise asses here. So after we're done with this cleanup this morning, I'm going to start getting the breaking the parts so we can start getting them mounted individually. Looks good. What are you using for filler? Black CA. Actually, I like it. It's less messy than like a Tamiya one part. Tamiya, whatever it is that I use. Can't get to it right now because my laptop is sitting on the drawer that it's on. But yeah, the Tamiya putty. I'm a wise guy. Need to try that. Hop on black CH, right? Yeah, give it a try. You know, I think having both black and clear makes a lot of sense. They do have different durometers. One thing I don't do with black CA, I usually don't use any kind of like a desiccant with it. I think one time I tried it and it just didn't work. And by desiccant, I'm talking about the liquid stuff rather than what they call it, baking soda. I think in the next few weeks, I might be ordering a couple more things from. I like Starbond. I think their products are good. I like the way they talk about their use cases. Their website, their emails are really good in terms of how Starbond's the company that that I picked this stuff up from. I'm sure that whether you do Starbond or if you do BSI or whatever else is out there, I'm sure they're all good. You know. But I do like that Starbond gives you different viscosities. Gets really rubbery with Instaset. Yeah, that's why I think that's exactly what I experienced. It just didn't work. It's kind of like you put it on, it's like it's just kind of making the stuff soupy. A lot of pro modelers use black super glue and touch it with an accelerant. Yeah, I never use an accelerant with it of any kind. No kicker. And I would actually discourage its use, exactly like what Nick was just describing. I just don't think it works well. Clear, that's a different thing. Clear, I prefer using, and you guys have seen me use it. I've got a bottle of it right here. I mean, this is just, I prefer to use just baking soda. That's just basically a ketchup tube of it. Right. That's the big one right there. There's a big gap right there. And I think I've got it kind of smoothed out. We'll know when primer's on there, but at least at this point, even if I hit it with surfacer afterward, I think that's going to be fine. That's done. Let's toss in some coffee. I've been meaning to pick up some black CA and some debonder. I've got a bit of sticker shock, so I waited for the black CA. I think it's about $10 a bottle, but I could be wrong depending on the size. Pro tip: if you leave thin long enough, it turns to thick CA. Yes, as I'm now experiencing with this stuff. Yes, all CAs are like that. For putting parts together, the accelerant is fine, but the filling, it can be problematic. Yeah. What's going on, Ray? Hey, Roy. A couple of these last couple spots touched up. Yeah. For gap filling, I prefer like significant gap filling. If I use CA, I'll use clear CA with baking soda. I hate using Instaset. Hate it. That stuff smells. It's oily. Do I use it? Yes, but it's a necessity. I need to mow. It won't stop raining. Plus, the mower doesn't start between the two. Yeah. Between the two, I guess I'm not mowing the lawn. Yeah. I think my next door neighbor, he mowed his lawn yesterday because it looked shorter than mine. I did mine earlier in the week. And I was like, well, maybe if the weather, and it's like, yeah, it looks kind of crappy. Oh well, no mowing this weekend. I'll live. Genesis Designs and Modelcraft. What are those? I had the same issue right here. But the rain stopped yesterday. Yeah. Well, Nick, if the rain stopped yesterday and your smoker isn't working, just mow the lawn this morning. You're getting ready to take off. Hold it. Are you going to an electrical supply place, or where are you going at 6 a.m. on a Saturday? I like my smells from testers and Timia. Do not sniff. Wet grass is not good for mowing. I know you should not mow. I have an electric mower. Picked up an Ego about 4 years ago. It's my 5th season using it. I like it. But I will say, you're right. It does not like wet grass. It likes it less. But it's a freaking jungle out here in Maine. But you just described Maine. Maine is meant to be wild. Fly, be free, be wild. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. All right, I'm buying, but not with cash. All right, we are almost done. Come on. Done. All right, now I'll start the assembly. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the legs put together. Upper leg and lower leg. We're going to get them. So right now with the parts glued together, obviously they're not going to come together, right? Because you're supposed to clamp this around this. Nah, that's not the way I like to do things. So what we're going to do is we're going to grind back on these parts just enough. That and that. Going to grind it just back enough to be able to slide it on in. You don't want to use your electric motor in the rain? Shocking. Shocking! Shocking, I tell you. I've got a real mower because my yard is like 12 square feet. Oh, just a reel? Like literally like a reel? I've heard to wait till later in the day in hopes of falling over with heat stroke. Chris, what the hell? Let's grind. In fact, let's bring out the rotary tool. Let's see how this sounds. Okay, you got to watch this short. I'm going to do it. Speaking of, drop my seat a little bit. Okay, here we go. Katie got to watch the short seat sensor so I could start it while off. Can't fit a jumper pack on the seat down. I have no idea what any of that was. I have no lawn. I will send a pic of my rock beds. Can you grow flowers in your rock beds? That's okay. The one with the spring cylinder. Oh, spinning cylinder blades. The 20s. Oh, I love those. Oh, man. That's totally manual. I love it. Person powered. I would love to get one of those. I remember my my godmother had one of those because she had a very small yard, kind of like what you're describing, Peter. And I remember seeing that thing, and I was always fascinated as a kid by that. I'm like, why can't we get one of those? Because in a larger yard, it's not as easy to do. But it is fascinating that technology is what? Over 100 years old? And it's still remarkably viable. I know this one guy, he had a weed eater to cut his yard. Hey, if you got a postage stamp backyard, why not? Ready? How is that? Turn it off! Turn it off! Turn it off! That didn't take long. It's really great. I have the blade sharpening kit too. Oh, that's cool. So there's a kit. Oh, that'd be cool. This is as annoying as before. I love it. Say we can hear you over the screams. Nice. Nice. All right, let's just file it down a little bit. Itchy nose. Do you remember the push mower with the certain? That's what Peter was just talking about. It's like the cylinder with like these kind of twisted blades. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I like that. Remember the 5th. Do you remember the 5th of November? Always. Okay. There we go. Let's grind the other side down, and then we're going to do a test fit. Might have to. Should I get my glasses on? Hot plastic flying everywhere. I love it. That didn't take much. I could change the blade and actually go to a diamond bit instead, but that was fine. This thing actually took seconds to do. You know what's interesting is I'm not sure if it's the way I've set up the live stream here, but we're getting a lot fewer people kind of like just popping over. I don't see like, usually like before I would have as many as like 20 plus people kind of maybe just kind of like bots or whatever. It just seems like it's all thinned out. Now we're primarily, it almost feels like Instagram, like the Instagram days. Can you put a curtain up so when your family needs something, you can say, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain? Could I? Yes. Will I? No. All right. We're getting ready to slip it in. You're not new anymore. Get over it. I know. Bots have moved on to other stuff. I know. Okay. Let's see. Still a bit of an aggressive lip there. Let's bring it down. Back. Let's do that. This actually gives me an opportunity to try something. I'm back. What else? Yeah. Nothing significant at all. They mowed on with their green assistant. They moved on with their green assistant. Yes. Let's try. Where's that set? So one of the bit sets that I got included collets. Let's see how these work. They may not. It's part of the reason why I went with this set was just to see how these collets looked. They might be too large. I'm not sure. And again, no, those look great. fuck, they're just a smidge too large. That sucks. When the granddaughter is here, it's chaos. I don't know why she got up so early. Why? Because she did. It's when you expect them not to get up. That's when they do get up. Ah, fucking battery died. Yeah, well. Calipers got to get change out the battery. Oh, grab the battery here. I think this is a very specialized battery. Yeah. It's one of these whack job batteries. I don't think I have a spare here. Oh, yes, maybe I do. That's what tiny humans do. Exactly. And by the way, as Nick, as you'll discover as they get older, they do that when they're older too. The number of times it's like, oh, I'm going to come home. My older daughter's off doing this. My younger daughter's off doing that. I'll have the house to myself. And then either one or the other one's here. It's like, hi, I love you. I'm glad you're here. There it goes. All right. Let's set this in my pocket so later I can get that squared away. Let's zero this and let's measure. Get one with a dot. Nah, don't need it. 4.26. 4.72. It's 0.5 millimeter. That's a bummer. Well, I guess one of these days I'm going to have to get myself a replacement for this that'll accept those collets. Oh, well, it is what it is. 'Tis what it is. I'm going to redo these things real quickly. Five. She's not tiny. She's 22. Just got screwed over when she was born and is a high functional autistic young lady. She will never be able to lead a regular life. Yes and no. High functioning is, that's not bad at all. And the other benefit there is, what's a regular life? What constitutes a regular life? No meaning I'm wrong, and it's possible. I mean, I obviously do not have that situation here. Mercy. Ooh, hello. Normal on her own, yeah, and that might be, and that's okay. My daughter, who works in a daycare center, and she's got kids who are also in similar situations, right, Chris? Nonverbal, that kind of thing. And the whole concept of the spectrum, and to hear when these kids have bad days, or when you hear when they have good days, especially when they have good days, when there's certain discoveries that a couple of these kids have, it's the way she describes it. It's just such a lovely thing to hear. I don't know. I guess in our own way, we're all kind of unique, right? So what the hell's the difference between 0.5 and 0.8? Would have been nice if they actually marked the barrels. I'm assuming it's the slits. Screw it. Yeah, they're all about the same. She'll always need adult supervision. Yep. And you know what? And at the same time, that's all right. I totally dig it. I totally dig it. I think I got him. Close to fuck enough. She goes to an adult daycare Tuesday through Thursday, and her mom works from home on Mondays and Fridays. That's nice, yeah. Our neighbors across the way, similar situation. Their son will likely always require some kind of assistance, you know. And this is where, again, I think it's, well, until recently, I guess we were very fortunate to live in a country where we do our best to help people who need that kind of help. And I hope that continues. I really do. I hope that will always continue. All right. We're going to put those call-outs back in there. Let's get the original one. Pop it in. Non-standardization. Just can't do. I just don't like it. Don't like it. No, sir. I don't like it. Which basically means I think these will not fit because these are all brand new. Let's see if these things will fit. That's all right because we'll be here for her whenever she needs us. Yeah. Well, yes and no. Somebody will be there for her, and that's the important thing. It's you right now, and at some point, it'll be others. Yeah, see, this is the mistake right there. Sorry, guys. Let's see if you guys can see it. Nah, fuck it. Not even gonna bother. It's too thin. So the unfortunate nature, I got to find now some other tool, another collet for these things at some point. I got other ones, not a big deal. Like this one right here. Right. Which one do I want? Oh, I think I'm going to use this one. I like the shape of this one. Let's give this one a try, shall we? Of course, it doesn't fit. So we're not going to try that one. Excuse me. All right, let's go to my other ones. It's not like I don't have plenty of these floating around, so. Yeah, here's my regular full-size set. Excuse me, I am really here for the modeling aspect. I believe it or not. Excuse me, I am really here for the modeling aspect. The modeling aspect, what modeling aspect? About you're here to so we can talk about models? What the hell's wrong with you? Because you've known me for years. How often do we talk about models? It's just so boring. Wish I had a seller like you, George. Yeah, I'll tell you, it's they're nice to have. This is just a sanding show. That's right. Sanding and George gibbering. That's all you get. You want anything more? Take your business elsewhere. Hey, does the new Zagok have tentacles? I don't know, but it probably should. No need to apologize. We're here to have discussions between the sanding nonsense. Exactly. And it's nonsense. Sanding is such nonsense. You know what? We should just glue models together and screw the sanding. Reminds me of the dentist and my last root canal. Nice. Be right back. Going to hunt down a few. Sounds good, Nick. Good luck, brother. South Carolina far enough south that they don't have basements. Could be. Could be. All right, let's see. Let's slap this piece in. Almost there. Oh, I still see a lip there. Yep. Yeah, just a bit of a lip there. Let's grind. Live in the low country part of the state where the water table is high. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay. Getting closer. In fact, there it goes. All right. So very quickly. There. And what's interesting is, sorry guys, there it is. It's just slapped it right in, and there's still plenty of tension there to allow some mobility. So I'm going to probably pull it out and grind it back just a smidge more. Ultimately, I don't care if there's mobility or not. I want to be able to make sure that when this thing gets painted, and it slides in, or both of them get painted, that I'm not going to have that additional space. My vacation. Has it? Wow, that's right, Peter. Wow, I forgot. You were on vacation this week. That's an entire week. My God, this whole week just kind of flew. Fill in the blank. The first time I visited my grandparents in Alabama, I thought it was wild. No one had a basement. The first time I went to Cali and there was an insulation in the walls. Yeah. Which also, I don't understand that. How can there be no insulations in the walls in California? Still got to keep the heat out. Or at least keep the AC in. Sorry, I keep hitting send while typing. Done that myself multiple times. There it goes. Snap. I'm just checking to see that I'm not stressing these parts, so I'm splitting it, and the answer is nope, not at all. There it goes. All right, real quickly. Just sliding it in. Snap. That's it. That's all it takes. If I do the same thing, my friend. Oakland Bay area. Yeah, a little different there. You still would think that in places where you get such high heat outside, you want to keep the cold inside. You want to insulate. That I don't understand. Okay. Just going to run the sanding stick over this real quickly, just to smooth things out. Then the toothbrush. We're going to brush this thing a little bit. Good day, Azanti. How are you? To walk apart from a customer. We're just studs wiring, no cotton candy to harvest. Wow, that's kind of crazy. We might actually, I guess I got to find another model. I might actually be done with the construction on this thing. If not today, it'll be done by tomorrow. Because the only thing that's left to add are literally the hoses. In fact, let's do that right now. Oops, hello. Un momento. I don't think these hoses have an up and down. Nope. Universal. There we go. I gotta tell you, I love the simplicity of this. It just don't get simpler than that. We're stationed at Beale Air Force Base, but there was back when the SR-71 was still in service. Paint kawaii. Paint kawaii. Right. Not sure. Let's get away some of the grindings, get rid of them. All right. Time to work on number 2. But before we do that, squeak. Actually, I just realized I got a couple more days of work to do here. And the reason is I'm going to try to get these gaps filled in the shoulder because this is all supposed to pivot. I'm going to find that one position. I'm going to glue it in and it's going to fill all those empty spots. Really care to see any of that stuff. My neighbor was on the engineering team at Skunk Works that designed the SR-71. Rip other George. Rip. Yeah. I think you brought him up when we met a few weeks back. That's done. Okay. Leg. Other leg. Grind. Going in, folks. Oops. little slippage. That's okay. So people I live on base 9 miles from the flight line. You could hear fingers take off because they use water injection and then could see your watch and this or something like a blast off. Really? And shake the house to go hit the tankers who were waiting for it. Interesting. Yeah, about Brad and Whitney. 58 at me. I think we looked at that when we were there. Yep. Let's get some of this cleaned up. There we go. Get that plastic out of there. Here's the thing: how I refuel until the plant expanded and stopped leaking fuel. Yeah. That didn't take long. Anyway, what's going on, guys? Anybody working on anything right now? Looks like Chris was making breakfast for people. Nick's out getting a fuse so he can go smoke. Anybody? Anything? Bueller? One time needed a new mission, so they started refueling with stealth fighters on the other side of the Sierra Nevada Mountains. Nice. Repurpose. Just pause on painting this project. I have a hush, and my job can suck it looking for a new one. Bitchies. Not even bitches. Yeah, I got a couple projects and got distracted and started doing more. Of course. What's wrong with that, Peter? I'm going to fix a lawnmower in the rain. Good for you, Ray. I will not. I started a top secret diary, hopefully to be revealed at PatCon. Top secret. Peter, you can always tell me. You can confide in me. Besides, I'll be the judge of that. Literally. I'm working on 148 Airfix Spitfire Mark 12. Nice. I actually wish I started that fucking Spitfire, rather the 1/72nd scale that I have, rather than this POS, this Air Comet. I just didn't want to do a prop plane. It's the only reason I worked on a jet, because I just did not want to do a prop plane. All right. One side done. Now to start grinding the other side. Yeah. Let's get that on the side done. Did you say Eric Comet? Oh yeah, Chris, I've had a Eric Comet. I've been working on that was the special hobby kit. No, it's not. I remember from the movie Top Secret with Val Kilmer. Kurt collection got you thinking. Among many other things floating around the hobby cave. Did you say Eric Comet? Yep. Also, I started another electronics project, a 4-channel lo-fi sampler based on some dodgy voice recorder chips I got from China on eBay. I love it. Dude, that's awesome. I want to see some of that stuff in action. Okay. Excuse me. I have the 148 hobby crap kit. I actually do want to pick up. There is a special hobby kit I want to pick up because I don't believe Special Hobby were the ones who made it, but a company called Tarangas did, and I've heard good things about it. And that is one. I think it's the Swedish Viggen. I got to tell you, the Swedes make the best looking planes, just consistently the best looking jets of all time. Okay, let's grind. Okay. Movie, yes, Vegan, yeah. Special Hobby will release other kits and throw some resin goodies in the box and a few new decals. Yep, fine, which I'm fine with. All right, and this same thing. There we go. This is actually a little looser, but just sliding in. There we go. Holding on just enough. Perfect. And once I get this thing in the position I want, yeah, this one's a little looser than the other one, which is fine. Because once this thing gets into the position I want, it's just going to get basically cut. Glued. So that's all set. Now comes the fun part. And that is getting the leg in here. That should not be okay. This should be pretty easy. Measure. .76. I didn't know that aircon has articulated legs. Yeah, dude. I hate this plane. I mean, I love the plane. I hate this model, but it's so close to being done at this point. I just need to hit it with primer. I got to get the canopy. I got the canopy mass. I just got to get the canopy to fit. Hate is such a strong feeling. Be hateful, but boy, that thing. Ugh. All right, first things first. Saw. Let's cut. Yes. Just to get it started. Now we're going to grind in. All right, let's see what we got. I say C-Jet, but it wasn't particularly that good. Just to see, would probably have blown it out of the sky. Probably. But you got to start somewhere. Actually, the plane that I also saw recently on AliExpress was I talked about it, the flying pancake. The sort of the last, I guess, pre-jet plane that the U.S. Air Force is working on. It's supposed to be like the greatest thing until it's like, well, I guess jet technology is basically going to replace this thing completely. It does look kind of cool, though. That's one of the things that I continue to be amazed with when I've got, people who are like, why do you build things that aren't real? Why don't you build something that it kind of existed? And it's like, I don't know. Sort of the what if stuff always is more fascinating, right? Makes that flapjack. I can't remember if it's Academy or whoever it is, but yes. Yeah. I looked at that. It's like, that's kind of a cool thing. And this isn't about World War II or anything like that, but just when you think about a time, I guess maybe that's the thing that's really impressive now about a time like, and Ray can also chime in on this. When you think about like the planes that were being created in the 30s, 40s, 50s, right? It's like, let's build this thing. Let's see if it'll actually work, right? You do some basic design on paper. I'm sure you're doing all the engineering stuff. Well, is it going to work? I don't know. Let's build it and find out, right? Now with all the computer modeling, that stuff is just basically even if you get to the paper stage, it may not be something. And speaking of planes, and I apologize if this gets on a little bit of a political tangent. Can somebody please explain to me why the idiot in charge looks at stealth as being bad? Oh, designing planes, they don't look good, when they're stealth. What the fuck does that mean? I'm sorry. I don't. Ultimately, a plane or whatever piece of military hardware you got, isn't it supposed to be about what it can do effectively in combat? It doesn't look good. I don't care what you think of it. What can it do? I was like, it's for our real prototypes that just didn't go anywhere. Now, Luft 46 models are different kettle of fish. Why is it can I ask Chris, why is Luft 46 different? And I'm asking legitimately, why is it different? And I've never heard the Luft 46 term until about 2 months ago. All right, let's grind a little bit here. Oh, hello. Farther than a lot of them didn't get any farther than the drawing board. You're talking about the Luft 46 stuff? Well, there's a lot of stuff like that, though. I remember, what is it? Must have been about a year ago or so. I remember seeing a tank. It was like, and it was, I believe it might have even been patented. So there was the whole concept of how do you make a lot of them and how they were made. He was looking for something completely different. A tank that literally used an explosive piston to launch it into areas. It wasn't tracked. And it was like this cylindrical, it almost looked like a UFO with cannons all around it. And it literally was up like a portable gun platform. And it would just move to a different location, do its damage, move forward. Now, conceptually great, realistically completely unfeasible. But I got to tell you, that whole concept was, oh yeah, boing, Chris, it is. I remember watching like a video on this thing and thinking that is pretty awesome. That was pretty awesome. Okay. Let's see what happens when we try to slide it in. First of all, let's file it away and get some of this garbage out of the way. There we go. All right. First, I'm going to have to go a little further out. It's fine. Maybe right to the sidewall. Oh no, it was 6 people, and now we're down to 3. Nah. Yeah. I have it set up, and I'm not sure if it's the right thing to do. I don't really care. I've got it set up for entertainment. I don't know. Maybe I could change it over to how to. I'm not sure if that'll help in any way. Frankly, I don't really care. People pop in as they pop in. As we've discussed, this is about, if nobody shows up, then I got a problem. I'm always here. Just about, Joe. Just about. I'm always here almost always too, except when I'm not. A couple times this week. But yeah, this show's always going to be about, it's whoever can make it, great. And if you can't make it, that's fine too. All right. So now just ground out quite a bit of stuff there. It should. We're very close to being able to just drop it right in. Causing the pivoted area to pivot. I don't want to do that. All right. So now we're very carefully going to start widening it. Well, how to be more coffee is done. I don't know. Would it be more accurate? I guess. I mean, first of all, does it really matter? Back. Fuse in hand. How's it working? Smoker back up in action. And look, we're back up to 4. So honestly, I don't think it really matters, Chris. I'm not doing this to become like some kind of a YouTube guy and influencer, that kind of thing. We've always done this, for 5+ years. It's always been about, the whole stay safe and stay sane thing, about just being able to talk, and people come, people go. Back up and running. Brisket on the, wow, that was fast. Dude, what? That place opened up at 6. That was like less than half an hour. Holy crap. Nice. As I said, I've never wanted to monetize my hobby. I've never wanted to make this about I'm an expert. I'm not, I think, every day I'm just learning and trying stuff and having fun, and that's all that matters. Now you're here. I can get my coffee. It's only 6 minutes away, and I'm efficient when I work. Yeah, I guess so, brother. I got to tell you, that's awesome. Coffee is so good once it hits your lips. Isn't that true, Joe? Okay. I'm still getting some resistance, and that's fine. I don't want to split parts. Not that the way it's going in right now would cause a split, but just continue to widen this very slowly until we get these parts that literally just slide right in place. Last night I grilled up I had picked up a couple of tuna steaks from Trader Joe's, and I grilled one up, and I got to tell you, I don't like, I'm getting more comfortable with cooking now that my wife isn't, here. So, you kind of have to do what you got to do. But when I have the ability to and I've said this to her, when I get to cook for myself, meaning that what I'm planning is a meal that's based around what I like, I really enjoy it. So, everybody in our family has either some kind of a requirement or a dietary restriction, and it's not a personal fault of anybody, but I just, because of that, it's hard to just like cook for the lowest common denominator type of thing. Something that works for everybody. So when I can actually cook something that I like to cook, like tuna steak, there it goes. Snap. Now the question is, can I get it out? Yep. However, I'm going to loosen it up a little bit more. I feel bad about our friend John, who tried to make a go of it, but eventually he came to the realization that he wasn't going to be the next night shift. Yeah, I don't feel bad for him because I also think that John, in his last Instagram, his last Patreon post, was also saying that if I'm not doing this, he kind of came to the realization not only is he not going to make money, which probably was a good thing in my opinion, given his personal and philosophical and religious background. I'm actually kind of happy for him. But I think what it also allowed him to discover was, why am I doing this anyway? Because he was probably making a few bucks on Patreon, and he just kind of decided, you know what? I'm doing this because I want to help people. And he's always been that kind of guy. So I think it was a great move for him. And in fact, I owe John an email. I actually kicked him a few bucks earlier in the week. But I appreciate that. And he's been inspirational to me in terms of just, why do we do this? Why do we do this? If it's to stroke an ego or to make money, it's like, guys, I don't know. I don't get it. Sule, you're already influenced our hearts. Well, that might be true, and that's okay. It's going to replace it. It wasn't going to replace it. Yeah, exactly. and frankly, I will say it, as much as I appreciate people like, like Martin Kovac and so many other people out there who've been successful enough, to make a career out of this. I would never want to make a career out of my hobby. And again, everybody's got their thing. That would be for me the destruction of my passion for this hobby. I would lose interest. Martin is a single guy. But he's in a pretty, I believe, I don't know the guy, but I think it's his girlfriend who's the one who does a lot of like his in-field videography. But whether you're single or not, you can still make it your full-time job, right? The thing is, though, how do you keep the passion going? When you're kind of at the whim now. Now it's the devil you just bartered with. John has a wife and daughter. I get that, but aside from all that, it's still a job. You have to treat it that way. That's the thing. Once you're making the kind of money I'm assuming that he's making, given the number of followers he has, the number of how much money he's making from Patreon. Once you go down that path, you are beholden to an audience. It is now a client-based system. So no offense to anybody here, but I could just say, fuck all y'all, I'm done with this thing, and I can step away from this thing, and I don't owe anybody anything, right? Martin can't do that. He owes them something financially. And he is now kind of committed to that. There we go. Let's pop it out. I still grind it back just a bit. I don't think it's that so much, and there's other guys too. There's a lot of people out there. And again, look, I'm not saying that you shouldn't go into this and make it a job. If that's what you want to do, have at it. That's not the point. I just don't see how you keep your passion for it when you make it your career. When I want to, because if I'm building something that may not necessarily be for myself, that's the other thing about why, and I like Plasmo. John said he's done over 500 aircraft models and was burned out. Then he found sci-fi and rejuvenated his hobbying. Who-being. I like who-being. I like Plasmo. Yeah, I don't know what Plasmo does either. I mean, I'm assuming he's, I don't know. All of them. It's like, if you can maintain the passion for the hobby and still make it your job, great. I can't. You know, when I don't want to ever feel, and it's funny, even when I'm down at the bench, I don't know how other people do. So this is an interesting one. When I'm down here at the bench, I'll spend, say, 4 hours. And at the end of that 4 hours, it's like, I can't be down here any longer. It's like, I just don't want to be down here. Plasma does other things as well. I don't know what his full-time job is. And not that he owes me an explanation. That's not my point. You know, I mean, the guy produces museum quality stuff, so who knows? Maybe that's part of it. But the point of it is, all I'm trying to say about this is that, you know, if you can do that and maintain you're passionate for it and treat it as a career, great. Snap. Snapping in is going fine. It's pulling it out. I think I want to continue just back just a smidge more. Not much more. There's all kinds of things, and most are small scale. You should give him a watch. Plasmo? Oh, it's Plasmo all the time. I know exactly who Plasmo is. Yeah, he's one of the people I enjoy. But again, it's all I'm getting. I'm not. If I'm not explaining this well, I apologize. These are remarkably gifted and talented people, and I give them every bit of credit. The stuff I've learned from Plasmo, from Night Shift, from Panzermeister, a bunch of others, right? They all have my respect. It's especially with guys like Plasmo and Night Shift, who have now made it, I'm assuming, it's part of their financial well-being. In order for you to, you know, you're doing enough of this stuff, you're making enough money on this stuff. And I know with Martin, he's actually said it's my career, to the point where he's actually gone down that rabbit hole even further, because now he has his own merch. He's partnered up with, you know, AK and VMS and all these other places. You've now made it a career. If at some point you're like, I'm done with this, I just my mojo is gone, you can't stop. You have financial commitment to, if you're charging people like a monthly basis, you know, if you're a Patreon, and you're submitting money every month, it's like, my expectation is you're going to produce content. It's not just, hey, this is a thank you. At some point, it's like, well, it's a thank you because I've gotten to understand who you are and what you do, but I'm expecting something back. Anyway, so there we go. And pop. Now it's pretty loose, and I'm fine with that. It can be loose. I don't need it to be tight. Like I said, in the end, all of that's just going to get glued right into place. All right, let's do the other side. Anyway, sorry guys, I haven't read some of the comments here. I felt it, George, when I was doing the auction, like, love to do it, just a pain, and felt like a lot. Yeah, exactly, Joe. And that's the whole thing. When something that you're passionate about becomes almost like an obligation, you know, because and an obligation, not just in terms of I've got to do it, but there's also a financial part of it. Like, you are doing something. It's work. Let's just call it. It's a job. And if you get tired of the job, how do you move on for that? Okay. Is Mike Rinaldi still doing anything as he puts me asleep? I haven't seen anything from Rinaldi in a while, and he's on my shit list right now. I ordered 2 books from him 3 years ago, and I ping him every year. After the first year, hey, Mike, just what's going on? Yeah, they're just ready to go to press. I know he was having problems with his printer. That's what he was saying. Last year I reached out and I was literally on vacation and I reached out and I said, hey, Mike, just curious, going to see these things? We were in Pennsylvania, in fact. We're in Philadelphia. I remember sitting at, my daughter and my wife were out going clothes shopping or whatever, and I was sitting in this rotunda area and just, I haven't heard from Mike. Let me reach out. And he's like, hey, thanks for reaching out. Yeah, I think you're in the queue to get these things. It's like, look, no offense, but if after 3 years you haven't published, so this once again comes back to, if you treat a hobby, oh no, I do remember the book he owes you. Yeah, it's actually 2. And again, here's the thing. I'm not going to cry over the money. That's not the point. The point right now, it's like, it's more you made a commitment to me. And it's the same thing with that scumbag company in Japan that I'll never see the model. It's now almost going on 4 or 5 years. It's literally hit right around the time I ordered it. Right. Oh my God, it's 5 years. It's the Toads Ritter that I ordered from a shitball company in Japan. But at this point, it's you made a commitment to me to get these things. I give you something, and you owe me something. And this is what I'm getting at with the same thing when you're doing YouTube. If you're making money on YouTube, if you're charging on Patreon, if you've got a financial commitment with a vendor, if you're selling merch, no offense, this is no longer hey, I'm a hobbyist who's doing this and hey, I'm making a couple bucks. It's like, no, you've now made it into a business. And if it's your business, God bless, but you have a financial, what do they call it? A fiduciary responsibility to people. Which books? It was the 2 OPR books. They were only like $20 each. It's not like I said, I'm not disappointed with it. And I continue to recommend, if you want to pick up a couple of Mike's books, go buy the ones, either go buy, if they're not in a bookshop, if they're not already published, if they're not already printed, do not order them. If they're printed, buy them. Like the toxicity of messages I got from scammers and people just rude to me. I just stopped. Yeah. OPR, oil paint rendering. I've always appreciated Mike's. Again, as this is why I continue to, you sometimes have to understand, you can't be both if you're doing this to make money, you can't be both a hobbyist and a businessman. You can't, because you can't say, well, I do this, I started this as a hobby and I started making money. It's like, then you're into business. You've crossed the threshold. This is now a business. And no offense, if this is a business, you got to fucking treat it like a business. This is I've joked many times, and I think people know me well enough. I am a socialist at heart, but I'm also not anti-capitalist. And I believe that capitalism as a tool for socialism is great. And this is one of those places where, look, you want to make money selling books? I'm totally in favor of it. But if you want to start telling me, oh, I'm this, but actually I'm trying to make money off it, well, then you're a business guy. And you then have financial responsibilities to the people buying your stuff or supporting you or whatever. Sorry. And I'm kind of cutthroat about that. 10-4 Tank Art, SM Books. Yeah, I've got a few of each. And if I saw one in a bookstore and I said, yeah, I want that, I may still buy it. It's like, I'm not upset with the stuff that he's producing, and he hasn't. And in the end, if I buy it at the bookstore, he's already made his money off it, right? Oxymoron, capitalist, socialist. Oh, absolutely. Can you be both? And I think the answer is yes. I'm not going to have a philosophical conversation on politics here, but yeah, I think it's doable. Anything that works for the common good of people. So I'll start with this. The common good of the people, that's socialism. Sorry. You can say, oh, no, that's not what it's about. if you're trying to help out the majority of the population in a country, in the world, in a community, that's socialism. Then you can layer things on top of that. Capitalism is certainly something, and I think it's a perfectly viable thing. It's just that when you have rampant capitalism, that's a problem. But like I said, this probably not the day to do this. This might have to be a, a conversation for another day. Is the One Gundam SM book? Yes. Yeah. The one he did on the Sazabi, which I think is that the work he did on that Sazabi is fabulous, except that one thing. And this is what I commented on, I think, earlier in the week. Anytime you use any kind of like these wound fiber cords, it looks like a shoelace, and it takes the scale, in my opinion, it always takes it right out of scale. It looks like the hoses that are coming down its neck are shoelaces. And my opinion is that doesn't look right. You just want to capitalize on the socialized aspects of socialism. Nah, maybe. I'm not sure I understand that fully, but sure. We'll start with that. All right, let's hack. Let's get the other leg in place. We actually might get the majority of this model almost assembled today, my friends. I actually didn't realize I was going to be this far into it. Saw. Did I actually put tools away? Oh my God, I did. Wow. Damn. No, I didn't. Where the hell did I put it? Where did I put the saw? Oh, I hidden behind something. It's like when I actually do something right, I'm like, no, I didn't do that right, did I? Do you MiGs in combat books? I've got a few of them. I've got a bunch of different books from MiG and AK. I've always liked MiG's weathering books. Not all of them, but many of them. Though I do have to say, I know it's a European thing, and I'm glad that they've stopped doing it. But the scantily clad female models, and I don't mean like plastic models, I mean the women that they paraded through there to show the shit in the earlier issues, just dumb. Look, I'm not a prude, but it's like, guys, really? I mean, do you really want to make this hobby really feel that much of a throwback and alienate people? That's stupid. But in terms of the techniques that are in there and the stuff that I've learned from that, oh yeah, both AK and MiG. Now I will say, from products perspective, I usually don't buy MiG stuff. I try to go for AK. I think AK is really, in terms of like finishing supplies, AK is at the top of the game. Just the stuff that they have between their lacquer paints, their water-based paints, their weathering supplies, all the different weathering supplies. You know, their pencils. Later, fellas. Time to clean the pool. Nick, that's awesome. I'm really happy and have fun swimming it. I got to tell you, this is the one thing I'm glad I don't have anymore. Cleaning a pool, not fun. But have fun, brother, and have fun with your family. Have fun with that brisket. I'll have to fire off another email. Regarding what in particular, Chris? A separate subject? Okay. We're almost there. Good. Now let's grind. I love grinding. Here we go. Bound up. On the reference materials we've been talking about. Oh, okay. Cool. We can talk. There we go. Get off some of that plastic. Woo. All right. I'm digging this. I just enjoy doing this. Also, my wonderful model club and the last meeting we had. Oh, some information on that. Yeah, send that over. Take a look at that. Especially if you got photos or something like that. Chris, was the last meeting the one you did the vacuum form thing, or is that still upcoming? I might actually almost be done. It's a little after 8 o'clock. Do the 2 hours, and I'm gonna get this leg snapped in. We're gonna get this leg placed, and then I'm gonna call it a session. But this might take a couple minutes. It might take me 20 minutes. I'm not sure yet. Depends on how all this goes together, and hopefully nothing breaks, because God forbid that ever happens. All right. We have 4 people on right now. I only know of 2 people who are kind of chiming in, Joe and Chris. All right. Let's see what we got. Snap this piece back in. Bang. Actually, I'll take it off right now. Let's see what happens. Oh, yeah. Right. Nope, still too tight. Let's grind. Oh, yeah. Good time. The rest of this will file. What's going to be fun is once I get this one done, I get to do it all over again with the second one. I may do both of them. I may just like get both of them built up, painted up, set aside for the day that I actually get to the Char Ferrari vignette diorama, whatever the hell it's going to be called. Sorry, I had a cat on my lap. Unacceptable, Joe. That's cool. I have to apologize for having a cat on your lap. Okay. Still not snapping in. Still needs to be widened. Did you get the Green Zaku and the Goof OG no grade? In a way, yes. I think I've got the 1/144 scale. I may just build all of them. These models are simple and fun, right? And I know I've said this so often. These old models are just simple and fun. Oh, but they don't look realistic, or oh, but they don't have the articulation, or oh, they got this problem or that problem. Yeah, but they're just super fun to build. And the stuff you can, just like this, the stuff you can do to kind of customize it. So I'm sorry, Joe, I'm going on a bit of a tangent, but yes, I have the Goof in 1/144. I think I also have it in 1/100. I have to take a look at my my spreadsheet. And I know I've got the, well, that's, I'm sorry, that's a Zaku 1. The Zaku 2 green, I think I do. I think so. But I've got 3 of these red Char ones. One that hasn't been built. One that I'm working on as we speak. This one right here. And then this one that I started before many of you guys were even born. Still got it sitting here, which I'm going to finish off at. What the fuck was that? Oh, sorry. Give me a second, guys. If that were a spider, I would have let it go. Carpenter ants, not in my house. Anyway, so this year. I'm going to probably finish this off at some point. Might just glue it all together. Just kind of get it all assembled. Get it done. I got to check that out too. My version of Ubuntu. This is a Linux laptop. I converted it to a Linux laptop a number of years ago. Ubuntu, I think, is about to end support for one of their older operating systems. Those problems you mentioned, that's what you fix, you silly scale model. Exactly. That's exactly it, Joe. That's it. Do as little as you want, but you can't just gripe about it. I love tangents. One of the best citrus. Yeah, I agree. Tangents and orangutans, my favorite citrus fruit. When you kill a carpenter ant, they release a pheromone for others to come collect the body. I love it. I don't like killing animals. I don't. I had to kill a spider a couple days ago because unfortunately it crawled into my laundry and I started shuffling the laundry around. It got injured pretty badly. Its legs were, it was a daddy long legs. Its legs were not in the best of shape after that. Had to put the thing down. Bothers me. I don't like killing spiders. Spiders are good animals. Ooh, that snapped in pretty easily. I think it did. Oh yeah, that snapped in. Let's see how we're looking good cooking. That's it. It's in, ready to go. It's standing a little crookedly, which is kind of odd. But I know why, because this thing has rocked. There it goes. Forget that the hips can rock a little bit, so there we go. It's actually standing pretty tall. Do you wish the carpenter ants choke on a ham sandwich? Nah, just want them away. Just go somewhere else. Just go someplace else. Go away. All right. I'm happy with that. That's looking good. Clean. Let's get the leg hose in place. Oops. That's it. There it goes. Hey, little friend. Come and meet my little friend. They call me the office. They call me the office every time they see a jumping spider. I collect it and send it on its way. I also tell them they would not be here if we wasn't here for them. It's probably true. And the food that they eat is probably the kind of stuff that we would rather them eat and not deal with. Am I out of focus? Let's see if I can get that focus back. That focus is like shit. At least from here, it looks pretty crap. Right, look up meat bees. I'd rather not. That sounds scary. All right, my friends, we're going to start cleaning up, packing it up. But we've got a lot of this accomplished now. I'm really happy with the direction this is coming along. We got the arms in place. I'll work. Actually, you know what I have to do? I've got to get the arms kind of figured out, a little sussed out here. And the next steps might be things like this. I might just glue in place. At least the upper arm into the shoulder. The lower arm, I have no problem keeping separate. Well, getting all that kind of sussed out, I think, is going to be good. So, anyway, this has been a fun model. You know, unlike that other turd ball, this has been enjoyable. There we go. I love it. Go ahead. Yeah. Just one, 2, 3, 5 pieces for the entirety of the head. Think about what that would be in a modern one. More than 5. Hey, Richie, good morning. What's going on, brother? All right. Let's get these tools put away. All right. Excuse me. Just got up, went to bed late. Hopefully doing something fun. I'm actually cleaning up and getting ready to call it a morning session. Just getting shit cleaned. I think I'm going to dig out the Zaku 3 I was working on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the double Zeta. Is that the original one, Joe, from the OG one, or is that the HG? People are still here? Hold it. Nick, and you stopped working on the pool cleaning? I got to tell you, focus on this thing kind of blows. I guess it's an older camera. Yeah, I was chatting with the guys on Discord and gaming last night. Nice. Yes, I'm done. Hey, Ken, good morning. See, you're done. Now you're back. It's pretty straightforward cleaning. But I find it fascinating. I'm going to bail. I got to go do some pool cleaning. Got to brisket the grill. And he comes back. It's like you're a glutton for punishment, Nick. The OG one you sent me. Oh, wow. That one from, from ancient days ago. Hey, Handren. Still streaming. I'm about to wrap up, actually. I've kind of gotten a lot of stuff done. I'll kind of go through what I've got done for those who are just popping in. Let me just put away the tools because I'm trying to get better at putting away my tools. I need more sanding in my life. You missed it. It's all done. The grinding and the sanding, it's all done. So we've got ground away all that material. Yeah, I like the new camera, seeing all the nice bench. Oh, you call it the nice bench area? I'd say it's the messy bench area, but it's doable. Thank you, Andrew. So we've got all of this ready to kind of snap into place, which is good. So this allows me to do, because I've not broken all those pieces, it gives me the flex. Oh, God, this one I might have to grind a little bit more. There it goes. But again, grinding away some of those jointed areas. Sorry, guys. There it goes. To be able to just temporarily snap it into place and then be able to paint it later. I love a messy bench. Well, you're gonna love this bench because this is trashed. That's the way I roll. It means you're hard at work. It just means I'm lazy and don't put stuff away. Hannah, don't give me too much credit. Might be beer 30 after all the work I've done this. I think so too. I mean, it's what, 7 o'clock your time? Yeah, beer 30 is coming right up, like now. Then grinding all that top part away just allows you to just snap this thing into place. Normally, we have to pay extra for grinding. You normally do, but not here because we don't charge. Remember, Ray? Snapping all this together. Bang. Bang. And there we go. I love this model. I can tell you, I just went on waxed about how much I love these old models. They're so much fun to work on. Messy Bench Club. Is that the old Zaku from the 80s? Yeah, 1981. Let's see. Also, George, I just acquired a Robotech roleplay tabletop. Robotech, really? I want to see how much that's worth. Gonna be wet at the intersection today. Yeah, I would say get yourself a big umbrella, maybe a plastic bag. Oh, the book. Yeah. Wow. Old Kit's always an awesome experience. Yeah. I've been saying this for a while now, Handren. I'm starting to find my enjoyment, and it's interesting how I moved away from it. Obviously, I started working on the older models. I started focusing on a lot of the newer stuff. And don't get me wrong, I love I still love the Origin models. There's a lot of stuff out there, but the older models are certainly, in my opinion, they're the more enjoyable. There's so much, like you said, there's just so much you can do to it, except that one. Except which one? You talking about the plane? Plane doesn't count. Plane's just trash. Talking about Gundam. So anyway, we got this going. We got all little pieces and parts here. I'm loving it. Gonna leave this here. Just going to clean off the bench very quickly. And it's standing. I love it. It's pretty flimsy in how it's standing, but it's standing. Origin models are the best. Oh, absolutely. Like if anybody says like, what should I get for like a Gundam, like a modern Gundam model? Absolutely. Go to an Origin kit. It's like a safe bet. However, depending on what you're looking to do, I would also suggest build one of these OGs. They're great. Richie, do you have any of the OG kits at all? Being an old kit, there is something about 100%. And Handren, you being the master of updating, I'm going to take this SD and I'm going to turn it into something fabulous. Come on, man. Yeah, come on. Handren, fuck you. I'm going to call it the way I see it. Handren, your workmanship is fabulous. That's a given. I have like 4 HGRXs from the Origin. Yeah. But do you have any OGs? I mean, Richie, I'm talking about OG. I'd love to see you build one of those. That'd be fun. Anyway. All right, my friends. I got everything cleaned up. Yes. All right. It is time for me to bail. I'm hoping to hit the bench later on with some airbrushing. I got to get started. I'm under a week now from having to bring that plane in, and I want to get that done. Later, fellas. Later, Nick. One day I will see that Zeta, George. One day you just may. No OGs. Yeah, you got to get an OG. You got to get an OG. All right, my friends. Stay safe. Sorry, now that everything's changed a little bit here, camera flipped again. Stay safe and stay sane, everybody. Thanks for being on this morning. I really do appreciate it. It's a fun session. Again, low key, just doing this creative stuff. You guys have a good day. And you too, Handren. Later, Joe. But guys, go out there and brighten the world as much as you possibly can. This world is getting nuttier and crazier by the day. We're actually in a very insane place right now. Let's see what we can do to help somebody make their day a little bit better, not vilify them, not terrorize them, not call them names, not do any of that stuff. Just treat people like human beings. Treat them the way you would want to be treated. All right. With that, I'll be back on tomorrow, same time, same channel. Enjoy the day. Love you all. And I'll catch you on the flip. Peace.